What do you get?
I don't think so.
When you cross a mentally ill loner with a society that abandons him and treats him like trash.
Call the police,
I'll
Gene.
tell you what you get.
Call the police.
You get what you deserve. Good night. And always remember, that's...
So Joker's directed by Todd Phillips, stars Joaquin Phoenix. I feel like we all know that by now. This was my #1 anticipated movie of this entire year. Tried to go in with no expectations.
Eats the screen every film to top the $1 billion mark.
There's a lot of rumors. Everybody kept saying that, Joaquin Phoenix is only...
Does it say something about how Americans feel about gun violence? I mean, is there a statement here since so many people are going to see it?
Call this a thriller.
All right, I mean, it's difficult.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and the tears have already begun to fall as Joker 2 has now been officially announced. Look, I don't think there was any doubt in my mind that Joker was going to get a sequel, even though I think it's an excellent self-contained origin story tale. When a movie that costs what Joker costs which was relatively little, and makes $1 billion, there's going to be a sequel. No matter what you think. Like, Hollywood is so devoid of ideas that the idea of making $800 million plus in profit is going to happen. Now, of course, there's already a bit of tears flowing, but ultimately, we didn't do this to you. You did this to you. Months and months and months of endless complaining that the Joker was going to cause all sorts of bad things to happen, using the Joker as a cudgel to denigrate white men, saying the Joker was evil. That's why it made $1 billion. I don't think it makes more than $600 million without that press. It's a great movie. I was going to see it regardless of all the press, but I think all the press amplified that. It caused people to see it multiple times. It caused people to tell people who hadn't heard of it to go see it. And that's exactly what happened with Alita Battle Angel, for example. You know, we still have a lot of power as consumers, and now the media seems salty. Now, are there people out there that think Joker 2 is unnecessary? Yeah, I think that there are genuinely people that feel that way. For me, I understand that sentiment, but selfishly, I want to see more Joaquin Phoenix as Joker. Imagine a whole movie in the asylum. How great would that be? You could do another like gritty. You could follow like basically the. It doesn't have to be like this big budget thing. It could just be, you know, the next phase of this, you know, Arthur Fleck's life in the asylum, interviewing and getting treatment and working with you could have other characters in the asylum that are also crazy. You know, you could have it be just, you know, Joker 2 in Arkham Asylum kind of thing. And I think it could be great. You know, yes, there are other DC villains that could use a lot. Could Bane get a standalone movie? Sure. I mean, there's a lot, but Joaquin Phoenix's Joker as almost as I can't say it's better than you know, it's not the best, but it's dang close. Like Dark Knight Joker's, you know, that performance was amazing, but so was Joaquin Phoenix's. So like, I mean, it's 1A and 1B for me. But now news of the Joker sequel on the way has been met with an underwhelming reaction from fans. The 2019 psychological thriller starring Joaquin Phoenix as the anti-hero won rave reviews, earning its lead an Oscar award for Best Actor. Today, May 28th, reports have emerged that the film's director Todd Phillips has struck a deal to co-write the next Joker installment. Despite the overwhelming praise for the original, news of the follow-up of the comic book adaptation has received an underwhelming response, with many people arguing that it's 1,000% necessary. What? Wait, what? What does that mean? The comic book adaptation received an underwhelming response, arguing that it's 1,000% necessary. Huh? Why do we need Joker 2? One was fine. Other than introducing Harley Quinn or Batman, I can't see what they would do. I mean, both of those would be pretty awesome. Harley Quinn's had so many bites at the apple to be a great character and just continuously fails. I don't necessarily blame Margot Robbie. I don't know. Another commented, I cannot think of a less necessary movie than Joker 2. Someone else wrote, I don't know how to feel about Joker was a complete film on its own. I'm still going to see Joker 2, but it's 1,000% not necessary. So the Independent has a typo right up here. We really don't need Joker 2, said a third person. The first movie stands very well on its own. It's a fantastic self-contained story, and adding to it isn't necessary. Still gonna see it, though. Nobody wants Joker 2, wrote another person. I don't know. Are these people who are still salty about the first one and are raging about a sequel? A lot of the pushback on Joker originally was its fan serviceness. In that it didn't like pander, and it wasn't like about being woke. It was just being a good movie, and it came at the time when people were desperate for that. And all the King's shills and all the King's soy men couldn't stop Joker from making $1 billion. So are these people like? Because yeah, right. I don't know how I feel about this. Joker was a complete film. I'm still gonna see it. I mean, I don't know. I cannot think of a less necessary movie than Joker 2. I could think of about 1,000 of them. How about Fast and Furious 9? And here, the sequel will flop. No, it won't. I guarantee you it won't. Here's the thing. People will still see a great movie. Whether or not I'm hyped about it is irrelevant. If the trailer looks awesome and the movie looks good, I'm going to see it. And I'll go see it in the theater. I feel the exact same way. I think, I know there's like all this stuff about Robert Pattinson's Batman. I was on record originally thinking he was going to do an awesome job. Then that trailer came out, and that trailer was awesome. And I think that if that Batman movie is good, it's going to be, people are going to go out and see it. And the same thing's going to be true for a Joker sequel. There's a million Batman movies. You could argue that each new Batman movie is not necessary, but ones that are good, people will see. The Dark Knight trilogy, Batman Begins, Dark Knight, both amazing films, huge successes. The conclusion of the trilogy was a little bit blah for me, but it was still really good. That Christopher Nolan trilogy was amazing. We didn't need a Batman trilogy, right? You see, again, I wonder if these are people, if you did some digging, were these people whining about the original Joker? I'd be willing to bet that they probably were. Here, me tweeting, we don't need a Joker 2 movie knowing full well I'll go see it. Right, exactly, 7,000 likes. So what do you mean? Many suggested that a better use of resources would be spent on creating an origin story for other villains, such as Scarecrow or Mr. Freeze. Scarecrow would be awesome. I got to admit, he's one of the best villains, and I'm glad that we got him in the Nolan series. I would say that a Scarecrow movie could be awesome, and you could do it like a horror film even. Like, you could be really dark with it. Mr. Freeze, no. Mr. Freeze wouldn't work. I think Mr. Freeze is a fine, like, comic book character, but I don't want CGI anymore. The Joker showed me that I can have an awesome superhero movie with zero CGI. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's exactly what I would want. Another added, we don't really need a Joker 2 movie, especially when there's so many other Batman villains that can hold their own, like Scarecrow, Clayface, Killer Croc. Let me be honest with you. If you're honestly, this is how I know you're not a real DC fan. If you're honestly going to sit there and say that Mr. Freeze is on the same level as Joker, you're not telling the truth. If you think Clayface is a movie that could be a standalone superhero movie that would make money, you're insane. And the same goes for Deep Freeze. You're talking about deep lore Batman villains. Now, you could say the Penguin or the Riddler, Now, these are ones that would probably do okay in standalone films with the same kind of aesthetic and approach. I think would be great. But Deep Freeze, Clayface, and Killer Croc, get out of here. Yeah, and they're showing nobody wants Joker 2. Yeah, but they're using a tweet with a single like. There's 7,000 likes on the one of people saying that I'm going to go see it. I think this is disingenuous. I think that people maybe aren't excited because we don't know what it's going to be or how it's going to look, but we're going to go see it if it looks like a good movie. The idea that it's going to flop is hilarious insanity. And you have like, I mean, are you crazy? 124 people think it's going to flop. And then afterwards they had to add, by flop, I mean, it'll be nowhere near as well received as the first. Well, that's not a flop. That movie made $1 billion. It made more money than Captain Marvel. All right. So what are you going to call a movie that makes 900 million, 800 million a flop? Nice cover. I mean, I don't understand any of this hilarity around saying that this movie's not going to be good. It's going to be great. It's going to be great, and especially if it pushes all the right buttons. What do you think? I'm cautiously optimistic, but we know nothing about it. Do you think that these are actual secretly salty people who are artificially raising up the meh report about Joker 2? Or do you think that there's genuine apathy for the movie? I'll be looking forward to your comments in the comment section down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.